Hello, so I wanted to share this super handy social media scheduling tool, and I really encourage businesses to use it so that they can make their social media posting and content creation so much more efficient. So what sets Edgar apart from some of the other online tools is that you're constantly building up a library of social media posts to use again and again and again. So you don't have to continually dream up new content and hunt around on the web for it. So first you'll start out by creating an account. You'll go to the Accounts tab, and here you'll sync up all your social media accounts. And it's very straightforward. You just click on the one you want to add. It'll ask for the password to authorize access, and then it'll appear up here as an account that's ready to use. You can also click on the red X to delete out any accounts that you prefer to remove in the future. Then what you'll want to do is we will look at the categories. And the system comes preloaded with a number of great categories that you can kind of use as guidelines, or you can use this Add New button and create your own categories. You can delete any of the existing ones that the system comes with. You can just kind of shift things around so that it makes the most sense for the type of content you want to share for your industry. So for this example, for Excel Sports, it's a big online bike shop retailer and also has a local bike shop location in Boulder, Colorado. So these content categories for the content that makes the most sense for their type of followers are related to bicycling products and training and recovery tips and recipes, things like that. So that's the type of categories we have set up here for them. And then we're going to look at library, and this is the actual posts that you've plugged in, and you can search for things that have already been added based on their category over here on the left, or you can filter by the account that you've got them queued up to appear in. So for instance, if we click on recipes, you can see we've got 3 different posts related to recipes queued up, and each one is going to go to both the Facebook and the Twitter account. And you can edit things. So for instance here, if you decide in the future you want to change the wording or change an image, or actually you just decide that a post was terrible, you can delete it here. So you can edit, delete, just kind of manage all of your content here in the library category. And then to fill the content library, you've got a few options. You can go up here to the Add New Content button on the right, and it'll pop up a little option here that you can choose the type of post that you want to create, and then you can plug in your text and your link. You can choose an image to correspond with your post. You can choose the accounts that it's going to show up on, and then when you're done, you save it to your library, and then it'll appear over in that library category. Another way to add content is to add this Chrome browser little button up here, so that when you're reading things online, you come across something that might be good to share with your followers. I like to start by taking an image and dragging it off onto my desktop so that I can be sure I have a nice image to share with the post, and then click on that little browser plugin button, and then choose the accounts I'm going to share it with over here on the left, and then say this is an article about cycling in Hawaii, so that'll go in the travel category. And then you can edit the text here if you want, kind of change it up to say something different. Click on the choose the file so you can plug in the image that you just drug off onto your desktop. Scroll down, plug in whatever content you want to appear on Facebook. Flip through the different images that are going to appear on your Facebook post. If you don't like the one that's, showing up first, there's oftentimes a number of different options. And then you save the content, and once you do that, then it's going to appear right in your library along with all your other travel and adventure posts. And then another area to get content is the RSS feeds, which is a really awesome way to pull in articles to use from various websites and blogs that you follow. So right now I've got it synced up to Bicycling Magazine and velonews.com, because those certainly make a lot of sense for the bike shop type of fans and followers. You can click here and add more feeds to add additional websites that make sense for your brand. And go back here to the feeds spot again. And then what it's going to do, it's going to pull in articles from all of those sites that you've got linked up. So you can kind of quickly scroll through and say, okay, does high altitude training work for you? Okay, that seems like an okay article to share with our fans. So I'm going to hit edit, and I'm going to, over here on the left, I think this would be a good post for both Facebook and Twitter. And then since that's a training kind of related post, I'm going to choose the training category. We've got the content and the link already plugged in there. You can say something else, add a little, kind of personalize it a little bit yourself. I would recommend that. Choose an image that you might want to include with the Twitter post if you like. You could post it as is, but oftentimes images with your Twitter posts help get a little bit better engagement. Scroll down and update your Facebook, with the Facebook post that you want to choose, and then save and approve the content. And then it's going to go into once you save it, it's going to go right into that training and recovery tips category within the library. And then if you go back to feeds, you can just kind of quickly go through all these different articles. It's going to just every day be pulling in new stuff, and you can scroll through and say, pasta doesn't make you gain weight. I'm going to reject that article. I don't really know if I want to share that one. Not a specialized dealer, so we're going to reject that one. Some stuff, some tech tips about tire pressure, chain rings. Yeah, that could probably be good. So you can, again, go into here, choose the accounts it's going to show up on. Choose, we'll put that in the articles category. Adjust this text, scroll down, put in some text, or you can just, if you want, copy and paste the text down into the Facebook post, hit save and approve content. It's going to go right again into that library listing. So as you add more and more content, you're going to just build up these categories full of different articles and posts. And as you go along, you might realize that some are performing better or worse, or kind of seem not as exciting once they're live on your site. So you could go in and say, I just want to delete some of these that kind of weren't as popular with my fans, or I want to edit the text on one of them. So you can kind of be always fine-tuning these to just make the library as useful as possible for your posts. And then you'll want to look at the schedules tab up at the top here to queue up when everything's going to go out. So the system has some really good tips and resources and articles to show you how to create a really super simple schedule that, in this example, they have posts going out basically just one time a day, and it's going to all of their accounts. So that's totally fine. Or there's some links here on how to kind of fine tune and make it a little bit more sophisticated. And you can see we've got the kind of daily Facebook posts going at a certain time, and they're kind of alternating the categories that appear each day of the week. And then we've got the Twitter posts happening a little bit later in the day. And again, they're just I've got kind of a schedule of kind of similar categories happening on Monday and Wednesday, and Tuesday and Thursday. It's not necessarily following that pattern. I just kind of plugged in some different options as an example. Then you can, up here, you can add a time slot if you want to say, usually people are hanging out at their desks at work on Friday afternoon, we'll say 2:30 p.m., and they are ready for the weekend and maybe kind of surfing around online, maybe looking at new bike parts. So we're going to hit save here, and we're going to put some product suggestion posts happening on kind of Friday early afternoon when people are surfing around on Facebook and drinking coffee and waiting for the weekend. So maybe that'll help get a few shoppers over ordering some new bike parts. Or you can kind of plug in, add these things wherever you want, or you can say, I think this is just too early for Monday morning. I'm going to just delete that altogether and just skip that post. So you can delete it, or you can add, you can say, I'd rather post to both Facebook and Twitter first thing on Monday morning and save that as is. So you just have a lot of options in terms of the calendar and when you want to post things, but you can just get this set up and you kind of forget it, and then it will be sending out content based on these library of posts that you have queued up. So you just match up the time of day and the category, and it'll rotate through all the content you have in your library. So as you add to it, you've just got more and more things to share, and it kind of alternates, just based on how it's going through that library queue. And then the last thing we can look at are the stats page. And for this account, it's going to be empty because we don't have it live and running yet. But once it is running, you'll be able to look and see what type of content has the most engagement, which has the most likes, comments, shares. You can sort it by your categories or your social media accounts. And that can kind of help guide your content process in the future to say, add more content to some of the categories that are performing more, and maybe phase out some of the categories that people don't seem to be very engaged with. So you can kind of use that to help guide your process. And then last, you'll want to always go into your specific Facebook and Twitter accounts, all LinkedIn accounts, all the accounts that you have matched up, and be sure to keep track of any mentions or retweets or questions people are posting online, so you're not just broadcasting, so that it's really an actual communication with your fans and followers, that you show that you're really actually listening and engaged and paying attention with what they've got going on too. So don't use this just as a broadcast tool. It's going to save you a lot of time putting content out there, but be sure to also kind of pay attention to the other side of things too, so that it seems a little bit more authentic and like your brand is paying attention. So I really hope this helps save you some time.